Hey, good afternoon. It is July 25th, and I want to talk to you today. This has to do with the credit reporting, Fair Credit Reporting Act side of my practice, and it has to do with hard inquiries. And I think it's very important because this is often overlooked, and it is very important. Let me tell you first, okay, just a couple of background information. There's such a thing as a hard inquiry and a soft inquiry. And you can find these definitions right on the websites of FICO or the bureaus. Basically, a hard inquiry, that's normally when you are applying for a loan or applying for insurance, something like that. They do what's called a hard inquiry. It affects your credit score by somewhere between 5 and 30 points, and it will be seen by other people. So, for instance, if you do a hard inquiry on February 1st, you apply for a loan on February 1st with XYZ Bank. On April 1st, 2 months later, if you apply for another loan with ABC Bank, they will look on your credit report and see that you've applied for a loan with XYZ Bank 2 months before. It's a record basically of when you've applied for credit. That's what a hard inquiry is, and it does affect your credit score by somewhere between 5 and 30 points, depending on the circumstances. Now, there's also something called a soft inquiry. A soft inquiry is when one of the bureaus, it's like Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, pulls your credit report. That will be a soft inquiry. When you pull your own credit report, when a bank does what's called a promotional offering, where they're looking at, possibly making an offering to you of some particular credit line or something like that. When one of your existing creditors is looking over your account, just to basically normally to see if you're still able to make the payments. That's all called a soft inquiry. That only appears to you on your credit report, and a soft inquiry does not affect credit score. Now, why is this important? Number one is hard inquiries are a record of who has pulled your credit, and normally without your permission. So, for instance, let's say you have someone who's committing a fraud against you, and they pull your credit report. And let's say they're posing as XMZ Bank or something like that. You will go into your credit report and you will see a hard inquiry from XMZ Bank, or whatever real estate office, whatever this person is using to do a hard inquiry on you. You see this a lot in divorce cases, where the husband and wife are battling over assets and things like that. And so, let's say the husband has a friend down at the local real estate company or something like that. He'll run down there and say, "Hey, pull my wife's credit. I want to see where she's spending her money. I want to see what she's doing with her money, that type of thing." Or the wife does it. The wife knows someone at some real estate office, some bank. That is not authorized. To do a hard or a soft inquiry, under the law, you need what is called a permissible purpose under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And if someone is pulling your credit without your permission, and it's happened to me, there's a record of it on your credit report. You can report that person to the Federal Trade Commission. You can report that person to the police if they're pulling the credit report without your permission. And that person can be subject to either civil or criminal penalties for doing it. So it is serious. It's not something you just do lightly. You see in business breakups, I've seen it. There's a famous case called Monet versus Drano. This goes back nearly 30 years, I think, but it's a California case. And this top salesman left this company, and the owner of the company was mad at him and wanted to basically sue him and put him out of business. And so he pulled his credit. He didn't have any reason or permission to do so, any permissible reason, but he pulled his credit. And eventually, the Ninth Circuit, the federal court in California, told him that that was not permissible and made him pay some money to the guy. And that brings me to the point about hard inquiries. If any creditor is doing hard inquiries on you without your permission, or if any person is doing hard inquiries on you without your permission, could be a bank, could be a car dealer, could be an alarm company, could be any number of possible people that have some access to credit reports. If they're pulling without your permission, you need to dispute it, obviously. You write a letter to the bureau where the hard inquiry is appearing, and also write a letter to the person who pulled your credit report and say, "I want you to take it off right away because suggests that you're out shopping for a loan when you're not. Number one, that's false information. Number two, it's damaging your credit score. Okay, you dispute it. You dispute it in writing. You don't do it online. Keep a copy of the dispute. Write a letter and keep a copy of it. This online disputing is horrible for consumers for any number of reasons. I'll do a separate video on that, in the next week or two. But write a letter to both the person who pulled it and also to the credit bureaus where it's appearing, and tell them to take it off. Tell them it was not a permissible purpose, and to tell them to take it off. If they don't take it off, you have a claim under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And just to let you know, the claim may be one of these situations where it's not worth a lot of money, but I just settled one for $100,000. So sometimes they can be worth a lot of money. It depends on the case. I don't want to suggest to anyone that their case is automatically going to be worth $100,000, but under certain circumstances, they can be very valuable cases. In any event, I hope this information is helpful to you, and I hope you're enjoying your summer. And please stay safe and wear the mask. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.